Hey YouTube, hope you guys are doing awesome. Thanks for checking this video out, another installment of Furious Figures. This isn't going to be an actual review of a certain figure. I just want to showcase a couple of things that I picked up in these last maybe 2 weeks or so. I've had some things on pre-order from BBTS, as I've said. I've had some things in my pile of loot. I had them delivered. So I just want to showcase and just run through some of these items, things that I've picked up at a local comic book shop too, things that I've picked up along the way, some mail hauls. I'm just going to showcase some figures, going to run right through them, see what you think, give you the quick top little highlights of the figures, and keep it short and simple and to the point. You guys know what they are. They're just a bunch of re-releases of the same goddamn body mold. I'm just kind of tired of the same old redundant format of these reviewers that just go through the same thing because we already know what to expect. Nothing new has changed. Stay tuned. Alright, so starting off, I wasn't expecting to see this one in store, but I came across it and I'm like, I have to pick it up. It's motherfucking Paul Bearer. Like, this is pretty fucking cool. Like, I grew up with this shit. This is iconic. Again, I don't collect wrestlers. I collect maybe like a handful of 90s wrestlers only, but Paul Bearer, awesome. Still have it in pack. We're not going to take it out. I'm going to leave it in box. This is going to be one of my in-box collections. Eventually I'll open it, but again, we're not expecting anything different or special from this fucking figure. It's just a body mold with big fucking knee gaps and pinless joints. I mean, it's Mattel. Mattel was probably one of the first companies to go pinless, double jointed. All these Hasbro people just all of a sudden are like, oh, pinless Marvel Legends. Like, Mattel was doing it years before. So, number one. Now an item I had in my pile of loot. Storm Collectibles, Nightwolf. Now, I loved Mortal Kombat 3. So I'm nitpicking some of the characters from Mortal Kombat 3. Although I'm a little late to the game to Storm Collectibles, I can still pick up some of the releases that they're coming out with. Now just to give you a little idea on Nightwolf if you haven't picked it up. So here we go, Nightwolf. You're not going to expect anything different from a Storm Collectible body mold or the articulation or the movements other than its awesome accuracy, its awesome representation. The only one thing I didn't like, his fucking crotchal area, if you can tell. Kind of just this thin plastic rubbery, it just looks fucking weird. But with certain positions, certain posing, doesn't really bother me. I'm just gonna keep him like this on my video game shelf or my section for fighting games with the 90s. Keep it simple. Now the accessories that he does come with, he comes with standard weaponry, and he's also got his green energy blast type of effects in there as well. But everything you'd expect from a Storm Collectibles and all the accessories delivers. All in all, 8.5 out of 10. Great fucking figure. Loaded, accessories, face sculpts, you name it. And perfect for any Mortal Kombat retro fan. Now this is a figure I thought I was gonna spend a pretty fucking penny for until BBTS just came out with, hey guys, we're getting a restock. Motherfucking Mafex Gambit. Now, he was close to $200, or just above that $200 mark, right before the re-release. Scored this Raging Cajun for under 100. Badass. Now, there's a lot of you with a love-hate relationship with Mafex. Too soft, too loose, whatever the fuck. Personally, my Gambit came out great. Tight joints, poses awesome, moves good. So this is the way I'm gonna have him posed out. Moves great. So don't be afraid to move your Mafex figures, explore them a little bit. Some people don't like them, but Then again, it's also my experience that some of these people that don't like Mafex figures aren't very good at posing them or positioning them, or just are still used to the 5-point type of articulation figures that you just, like, you gotta know how to work these angles, these joints, the movements. Not for nothing, I see a lot of people in these Jada groups and other groups talking about how they want high articulation. They got high articulation, but then you look at their posing and you're not using the posing to its full potential. Let me tell you that. So there's a lot of videos out there on how to pose your action figures, how to move them, how to position them, how to properly distribute their weight in the figure with their own posing and their own mold. Not for nothing, McFarlane sucks at distribution of proportions and weight for their figures, but there are still certain angles that you can position a figure and it'll look good, aesthetically pleasing, look nice, and makes a great display for your collection. And what's super cool about Mafex, it comes with its own motherfucking stand. So, but yeah, just to give you an idea, there you go. Gambit. Let's get his bow staff out. Oh, and for anybody that saw my Cyclops Mafex review, yes, the hands do pop off rather easily, practically effortlessly, but that does not take away from how awesome they are, the representation, the posing, the mold. So this Gambit is actually pretty top quality. Look at that. Stands right away. And you really don't need some stands for a lot of these figures if you can just center them right. It all takes, it's just a bunch of little things that you got to take into consideration on how to properly pose and position the figure so that it balances just right. You got to know the body angles, you got to know the anatomy. And of course, they're just toys, you pose them however it is you want, but come on. Don't be asking for a highly articulated figure if you're just going to pose them out like this. Bam! Action pose. Now a highlight product. The Mezco 112 Green Goblin. Now when I found out that Mezco's coming out with this Green Goblin, I immediately sold my Marvel Legends Spider-Man Retro Green Goblin. I really liked that Green Goblin figure. Marvel Legends did a good job with that first retro re-release Spider-Man Green Goblin. But not for nothing, Mezco just delivered much more. And for the price, shit. I already have it set up and displayed. So, there you go. Green Goblin. Motherfucking Norman Osborn ready to go. Now, I like this Green Goblin. But I'll get into the cons in a little bit. Let's show off some of the accessories he comes with. Now again, we know Mezco is notorious for delivering some very, very good and very generous amount of accessories. So we've got 7 sets of hands. We've got 8 different pumpkin bombs. I'm going to take this first layer off, and it's really cool because they package these individually in its own little plastic mold. We get it's not necessarily a face sculpt, but it is the mask taken off, and of course we get a hand to hold this hood with the mask of the Green Goblin. We get 2 Norman Osborn head sculpts, still in pack because again, I only took the figure out, changed the handset, changed one of the heads, and that's it. We're keeping everything in pack. And I'm sure most of you already saw reviews and know what the accessories look like, but in case you didn't, I just want to showcase a few. We've got some goblin rings, because they look like batarangs, but not quite. We've got a batarang with its throwing effect. We got a little flame. We got the engine booster there, which I should have put that fucking on right now. I should have put that on it. And you've got 3 other hands here with an exploding frog, a little ghost, and the pumpkin bomb on fire. So let's go ahead and bring the figure back over here. Here we go. So here we go with the engine blast effect. There you go. Perfect. His glider handle, balance hook. You're able to lift to give it a little grabbing effect, and these do kind of flap. The glider blades do flap up and down, and it's really neat because, let me take this off right here right quick. Mezco comes with its own stands and personalized base stands. But what's also really cool about this glider, much better than the Hasbro glider, especially for that Hobgoblin. That Hobgoblin Retro Spider-Man release was fucking horrible. That glider was trash. The feet didn't fit. Just bad. But look, you've got little, there you go, little clips to keep the foot in place. It even comes with its own wire inlay on the strap for his little nasty bag of tricks. So that's what's really cool about this little pouch. And if you open the pouch, it's got a little magnetic seal, like those actual purses that chicks have that don't use a button or a zipper type close effect. That's awesome. It does have a little foam piece on the inside, or it's got some piece on the, yeah, it's like a little foam cushiony piece on the inside to add like it's got substance in there. But if you remove that, you can throw in some little papers, firework, checkbooks, Axe body spray, whatever, you know. So you can even throw in the little batarangs and the goblin rings in there too, so he holds that together. This figure, probably the one thing I don't like about this figure, his purple overall here, it imprints very easily, so you got to be careful if you're going to be using the stand over his waist or chest, because after a while it will leave a pretty permanent mark or start leaving the imprints of anything, any kind of pressure or pretty much just any other pressure or bend or crease on this. So I don't expect this chest piece to last too long, so that's why I've got his stand holding him by the leg here. And that also gives it just a little bit more of a natural effect. There you go. Voila. Beautiful figure. Perfect. Way better than Hasbro. There's no argument. And lastly, the one piece I'm really excited for, Biker Mice from Mars. So my local comic shop, my local collectibles shop, got these in this past week. I wanted to get the whole set, but I noticed something on it that I don't like from other figures, that this figure has that's the one little fucking thing that I just hate seeing on figures. Let me show you. Now, although this figure feels great, moves awesome, look, those fucking horrible ball hip joints. That is one thing I hated about the early 2000s Toy Biz X-Men or Marvel figures. These ball joint hips are just they're disgusting to look at. But they kinda, and I think it's only my nostalgia that's overlooking that's gonna let it slide. But it's got great articulation. They're not loose, they're not wonky. It's a very free-flowing type of articulation, just as you would expect from all the other figures. It's got the ball hinge rotation on the wrist. McFarlane does this, Mezco does this. Pinless joints, diaphragm, waist twist, full 360 on the head, arm, all that good mumbo jumbo. But even at that, it is a solid figure. It stands perfectly. It's got fucking badass biker boots, no pegals at the bottom, but you really don't need a stand for this. Just position it properly and it'll stay. Now the accessories he comes with, he's got 1, 2, 3 sets of hands. Comes with a hot dog, some type of crowbar with another extension piece at the end. Comes with a little bit more chipper type head sculpt. And soon enough, Nacelle is going to be releasing the respective motorcycles for the Biker Mice. So he's already got a helmet in place with a head sculpt. He's got this like claw thing. When he can't reach for stuff, he just kind of uses it, picks it up, and feeds it to himself. Sort of like this. Sort of like this hot dog accessory that he comes with. I think they all come with this hot dog accessory. It's kind of funny. So it's like, oh, I don't want to bend down for my hot dog accessory. No problem. Let's just grab the claw. Yeah, we got a hot dog accessory right here. No bending over required. And his little Martian blaster. Now for nostalgic reason and purpose, fuck yeah. This is awesome. In the meantime, I don't have a motorcycle for him, but check this out. I was still waiting for the perfect figure for this bat cycle, and it finally came down to it. Vinny looks perfect for this cycle, but for as high tech and as like cyborg-ish this bike seems, maybe even Moto would be a good fit for this bat cycle. It's a little bit of customization and you have a fucking killer Biker Mice from Mars on this. This is fucking sweet. Perfect scale too. Scale could not be any better for this bike and this figure. That is fucking awesome. A little bit of repaint, customization, and you've got a whole new bike for your Biker Mice. This is fucking cool. Let's check that head sculpt out. Safety first. Wear a helmet. And wear a helmet. Safety first. Bam. Shit, yeah. That's fucking cool.
on my way to fuck your bitch.
Another notable mention. Filmation Beastman. Now, I was super happy to get this guy because I did not pre-order these on BBTS or anywhere else. I was waiting for my local comic shop, my local collectible store to get it. Infinite Apparel and Collectibles, thank you very much. You guys have supplied me with so many of my collectibles that I do not find in department stores or even care to hunt or beat other people out. So you guys always pull through with the best deals, the best pricing. Because not for nothing, there's a lot of stores out there that have some figures $20, $30 over. These guys are within a $2 to $5 range of retail. And that is fair. Because you can go to the retail store over and over and wait for the restock and waste gas and waste time. And you're just thinking, where the fuck am I going to find these figures? When I can just spend $5 more and I get the figure that I want right then and there, come the fuck on. So, this Filmation Beastman, my new definitive Beastman. So when they released this, I got rid of that Origins 2020 release because this is the Beastman that I actually really like. Nothing against that other Origins figure. I love that Beastman. Awesome. But I want a cartoon. I want a Filmation He-Man Beastman. So, shit yeah. So thanks for checking this video out. Hope you guys enjoyed the figures, the hauls, the finds, the pickups from the collectibles shop. The one I'm really going to push you guys to get, especially if you're a 90s kid and you did have some nostalgic feel or grew up with Biker Mice from Mars, these Nacelle figures, they did really good. I'm impressed. Am I going to pick up the other ones? Maybe. We'll see. But they only made a limited batch. And once they're gone, I think that's it. They're going to be gone. Maybe I'll pick one more up. But I wanted to try one just to make sure I was going to like it. And sure enough, I fucking love it. So I'm going to press my luck and see if I can get the other two. But I do hope Nacelle comes out with more 90s rendition figures. Who knows what else they might bring up, but I'm looking forward to that. So again, thanks a lot for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, if you've picked any of these up or if you're waiting for them. But until next time, keep it furious. Catch you guys on the next one.